My name is Sydney Mathis, and I'm going to tell you about the 4 stages of alcoholism. My whole life I've been surrounded by an alcoholic, even though I was not aware of it until recently. While I was growing up, I knew my father had an issue that affected my family and his mental health, but I did not know the severity of it until now. Alcoholism is defined as the consumption of the alcoholic liquor or the mental illness and compulsive behavior resulting from alcohol dependency. The symptoms of a functioning alcoholic are structured in 4 different stages, which are occasional binge drinking, drinking as coping mechanisms, the consequences of problem drinking, and physical and psychological consequences and changes. Today I'm going to explain to you the 4 stages, how to recover, and how it affects a person and their peers. The first stage, occasional binge drinking, is when an individual is drinking to get drunk. This is when they begin to test their limits, having one drink after another. The second stage is drinking to cope. Drinking to cope is being used to relieve as stress. It is not physically affecting them, but is showing that they are becoming to have a problem psychologically. The third stage is consequential drinking, which is when peers start to realize that they have a problem and they show concern. The individual may set their drinks to a limit, but can't control them or themselves. The last stage is physical and mental changes causing a person to gain weight, increase blood pressure, and even performance at work. So this means that they're not performing as well as they should because they're either hungover or under the influence. This is when someone becomes in denial. According to an anonymous author who published from the article Life After Rehab by The Guardian in May 2013, he gradually replaced the alcohol in the hope that he wouldn't notice. Of course, when I discovered what had happened and confronted him about it, he lied. This is when I started to feel our marriage was falling apart and I couldn't realize who was sadder, him or I. This was a woman that discovered that her husband was an alcoholic, and she started to realize the 4 stages that led him to drinking behind her back and replacing alcohol so she wouldn't even notice. And she noticed way too late, and in the 4th stage, she ended up passing away. The website of Centers of Disease and Prevention, that was last updated in January 3rd of 2018, states excessive alcohol use led to approximately 88,000 deaths and 2.5 million years of potential life loss each year in the United States from 2006 to 2010, shortening the lives of those who died by an average of 30 years. Further, excess drinking was responsible for 1 in 10 deaths among working age adults aged 20 to 64 years. There's also ways to recover and get help before the deaths occur. The website of Addiction Center, that was last updated December 28th of 2018, stated, people with a severe alcohol addiction can experience intense symptoms of withdrawal. A supervised alcohol detox is usually necessary for people addicted to alcohol to prevent potentially fatal complications. This is shaking, sweating, seizures, and hallucinations are possible alcohol withdrawal symptoms. So this is understanding that there can be help done in recovery. The first step of recovering is realizing that you have a problem and you immediately getting help. Since it is an addiction, it is very hard to admit to yourself and to others that you are an alcoholic. It's hard to handle the task because there is embarrassment, denial, and even your pride can be hurt. Now that I'm aware of this disease and how common it is, I'm going to focus on how to handle my drinking being a college student living in a college town. Seeing a loved one getting through this and watching the effects it had on my family was life-changing and had given me the strength and awareness to not let it happen to me. Alcoholism can affect anyone, whether it is a college student, celebrity, or even someone's father. Everyone has a different coping mechanism, and if alcohol could be secluded as an option, many lives can be saved. Thank you.